Dickie's Diary 120. Good day, friends, followers and fans. It is with great sadness that we see the back of the Joker as he is frog-marched through the airport, surrounded by Border Force heavies. What a sight! The most dangerous man in Australia is not a hardened bikie criminal, not a demented serial killer, not even a murderer, but a tennis player. I have seen his forehand drive, and I can tell you that I consider him to be a genuine threat to the aspirations of our homegrown players, that is, so good riddance to him. At least Kyrgios will have an easier draw now. Ash Barty has benefited too, as some of the female players have now been drawn into the web of intrigue, and thus deported. So a round of applause to our vigilant immigration department, keeping our borders safe and easing our players through the draw. Two birds, one stone, kapow. The current reasoning of the Imi-Mini-Me is that the Joker is not of suitable character to be allowed to stay on our golden soil. He is regarded as a bad influence to the many unvaxxed people of Australia, providing them with a focal point for their protests and a totem for their twisted beliefs. For his part, he has not made any public statements in that regard, so his behaviour is the only determining factor. He refuses to get vaccinated, and so he is a menace. In my opinion, it is a good thing that we are deporting him. We cannot have Serbians coming here with their independent thoughts and beliefs and surreptitiously influencing the vulnerable of thought with the things they are not doing. And it is quite right that we use the excuse of public health to remove him. This ploy worked a treat for the Nazis before the Second World War. And if it works so well for them, why not give it a go with those dirty Serbian foreigners? It reminds me of the time that Ed Sheeran tried to come to East Seacliff in order to put on some charity concerts. After costs, ka-ching. After a frantic phone call to the Imi-Mini-Me from the mayor, Conrad Blackheart, Eddie was stopped at Border Force security. His visa was cancelled due to the offensive nature of the colour of his hair, and the fact that the general public was not in favour of folk music in particular. After he appealed to the High Court, he was exonerated, the judge ruling that it was not legal for Border Force to refuse entry just because of public opinion. Behind the scenes there was blind panic in the halls of power, as Mayor Blackheart did not want to appear weak and ineffectual in the public's eye. He therefore instructed the East Seacliff Mini-Me to come up with some spurious counter-charges that the court would not be able to refuse. In a 5-hour brainstorming session, the town hall public servants came up with a stroke of sheer hubris, genius. The Imi-Mini-Me was now able to revoke Eddie's visa on the grounds that he was a subversive, intending to influence vulnerable citizens into believing that folk music was not all that bad. This was never specified by Mr. Sheeran, but the fact that he might be thinking it was all that was required by Border Force. He was therefore detained in a poky little hotel room in order to further humiliate him, until Border Force had cobbled together a large team of brutes to manhandle him through the airport. The general public were thus reassured that Conrad was a strong, capable leader, and subsequently he was voted back into power. Job done.